A sociological report from New York City about teenagers smoking pot that might annoy the cannabis can do no harm people. I'm Lex Pelger. I do canna education for CV Sciences, the makers of Plus CBD, and I appreciate that they allow me to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. I haven't lived in New York for a number of years, but I spent most of my adult life there, and it's been cool to bring the kids back, show them around, and one thing is true, the smell of cannabis is everywhere. Papa smell, as it's known in my house, and more overpowering than it ever was in my years. You can really see things opening up. However, one thing that a lot of my friends with kids report that they see every day when they're taking their kids to school is a bunch of teenagers huddled in the middle of the block smoking some weed. And I have no problem with that. And none of these people do either. They're New Yorkers. They don't care. But I do have a fear about what is happening to all of these kids as they go to school each day. If there's one thing that's known about cannabis, it's that your memory isn't as sharp right after you consume it. Your cognition isn't sharp in the same way either, and you don't seem to learn things as well when you are immediately stoned. And so if these kids are about to head off to art class or drama class or something like that, this could be just a thing for them to be taking before those classes. But for their classes that are more cognition involved, like history, science, or math, they almost certainly will not be learning as well as if they hadn't imbibed right before school. Of course, the caveat is this is absolutely not true for every kid. I'm sure some of those kids with ADHD or autism or just general anxiety, the cannabis helps them to calm down and to have a better day at school, and they can learn better. Hell, for me learning French, I do better when I have a little bit of cannabis in my system just because it's the only time I'm willing to try. But that being said, in general, I am sure that a lot of these kids are not learning as well because of this imbibing right before school. Also, there is, of course, the quite known but moderate link between the earlier you start ingesting cannabis and the more of it that you ingest, the links to later schizophrenia. Is it very strong or overwhelming? No. But is it there? Absolutely. And so these are things to consider as we see the rollout of cannabis across the country. All the reports are saying that cannabis use is steady among adolescents, actually tending not to go up that much. But it's worth keeping in mind that as this rolls out, this is not a great thing, most likely, for teenagers to be doing before school, but it is happening, and it's something that, as a society, we need to be thinking about and dealing with.